When I hear the term mom burnout, it makes me think, I get it. It is something that I'm constantly thinking about. Even just things like eating can sometimes be a challenge. Just a mental load of keeping dates and appointments in check and everything else. My name is Shalima Cambridge. I live in Surrey, BC, and I have 2 children. I am a director of client solutions. I would describe most of my days as busy. In the past 2 years, the rush has certainly increased. Before my workday has even begun, I feel like I've put in a shift somewhere else. So, waking up in the morning, the list of things is already starting. So one is just checking, are they okay? Especially with the allergies coming on now, it's kind of deciphering, are those sniffles, or is that runny nose? Am I gonna have to adjust my entire day because he's now home and can't go into school? Have they brushed their teeth? Have they gotten ready for school? Do they have their clothes out? Do they have their bags ready or the lunch boxes at least out of their bags so they can make lunch? Do they have their agenda signed, permission slip signed, homework done? Thinking about getting out of the house, is there gas in the car? They go different areas, and so what route am I going to take this morning to make sure I could get back home in time? When is my meeting starting? Do I have to set an alarm for that to make sure I remember that it's happening? Do I have groceries in the cupboard and in the fridge so I can make dinner later on? Is the lunch that I made actually nutritious? Who's doing pickup? Are you able to pick her up from school and take her to Oxford? And getting home, is dinner ready? Have I responded to that question about daycare for next year as my son starts kindergarten? Are they having some time to relax? Are we having some social time as a family? And throughout that day, also, have I met all my meetings? Do I have other things on my list that I haven't got to that I have to work on after work? So these are the things that are running through my head on a constant basis.
Yeah, so that's what we were thinking for those 2 workshops.
In the past 2 years, I've had to leave 2 jobs. I've made a conscious decision about how I need to manage my life. And, particularly with the last position I was in, as soon as I started getting the request to schedule me in for in-person sessions, it just was almost bringing up anxiety in me as to how I would be able to manage that. For me, the sacrifice in making this change is really around some of the security and benefits that I had in my former position. The trade-off of having the flexibility to be able to work from home was a bigger draw for me than the benefits. I really cannot think about going back to a role where I have to be in an office, commuting to an office at around set hours. It's just not possible.
Okay, I'm tired. How about you? Jennifer Moss has been listening in. I imagine you were just listening to that and just going like, check, check. Yes, I've heard that before. You're the author of Burnout Epidemic. So Shalima, she thinks a lot about burnout. My question, is this like a women and men thing? Is it a parent thing or predominantly a mom thing?
So Shalima and her checklist, I just felt like I was instantly getting anxious as a mother of 3. I feel what she's feeling. And the thing is disproportionately impacting women. Women's unpaid labor hours went from 15 to 20 hours per week, and they were 5 before, and men's did not change. Actually, we saw that they remained unchanged. And a lot of that, that we're talking about right now is this idea that, this secession is over and that women are back and they're back to work, but that's not the case. Numbers, are telling us, and data from StatsCan and other resources are telling us that, when you look at certain sectors like Canadian nurses, for example, there's 92% of Canadian nurses are female and 90% of them are burned out. And so there's a lot that we need to be working on to rectify this situation specifically for women. Is this temporary? I mean, as life gets back to normal, do we all just go back to whatever our status quos used to be? This is paradigm shifting in our lives right now. And I think what we need to recognize is that this is going to take us a long time to solve, but there's ways that we can solve it. We need leaders to just start by asking the women in their workforce, what do you need? What can I do to help you have a better experience of work? And that will help us to make sure that women are going to be kept inside of our labor force and be able to sustain it in a mentally healthy and productive way.
Hey, Jennifer Moss, really nice to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.